Because something so obviously cost you on Tuesday, Michael, is it actually a little bit easier to convince the players that, yes, keep doing what you're doing and you're making progress?
I've not seen the players since, so there has been progress made. People won't look at the table. Obviously, we're not stupid. People look at the table and go, there isn't progress made because you've actually gone down the league. But we've had that mini pre-season break. We've had a good performance against Forest Green where we conceded from a set play. 0-0 with 11 men at half-time. Obviously, the sending-offs changed the game. Now, but even with 10 men, we conceded in the 75th minute and Scott's only made one save before that. So the shape of the team, the structure of the team looks better. Now, something I said after the game, and some of the players do know, that we need to get better with the ball. We need to take a few more chances, take a few more risks, come off our shape a little bit. So it's all about having structure and framework and things like that. But there needs to be the other side to the game, which is a little bit of confidence and putting yourself out there to make mistakes. But that's the next part. So there's a lot of work going on. Now, it's not said from day one. It wasn't going to happen overnight. It isn't going to. Well, hopefully it happened overnight, but it hasn't. But the work's still going on, and it's that's the next point. So when we lose the ball now, we have got a shape and a structure. So now we can almost be a little bit looser when we have got the ball and come off our shape and find little pockets and little angles a little bit better, which is something that we need to work with.
And having worked so hard to get the ball, how difficult is it to then have cool heads when you get possession?
Well, that's what makes the best players. The best players that make the best decisions. So, can you run around and hurry, win the ball, and then that's your moment of composure. That's your moment of quality. So that's what. Obviously, I can't make the players pass the ball, but we can give them options. We can give them patterns. That's something that we can help with, and give them the confidence that look, if you make a mistake, don't worry about it because you know what's going to happen now. If you do lose the ball, back into your shape. So that's the process. That's the little bit of time, and there's still a long way to go. And I said after the game, I said absolute total belief in what I do, and I've got belief in what the players that are already here as well. There's definitely enough in the dressing room, so there's no panic stations yet.
And you talk about that confidence, if you like, to make a mistake. When you've got that confidence, do people actually make fewer mistakes?
Yeah, because it's what if moments. They're not bothered to give it away because they'll always get it back and go and do it again. The best players take chances in the right areas. That is the key. So we're not going to start asking people to start doing Cruyff turns in the 6-yard box. If it's got to go, it's got to go. But playing as simply as you can. Something I say quite often is pass. Play the first thing you see. Sometimes players will see a pass and then they'll look for something better. Well, normally the first one's the best one. And get them to play off less touches. But that's, like I said, it's confidence. No matter what sport or what world that you're living in, it's when you're not thinking, you're at your best. That's what they call, when you're in the zone, for example, it's little things like that. It's just happening because you're not thinking. Now the players potentially, like I said before, they do care. Being in the dressing room afterwards shows that they do care, which is a positive. And they want to make things happen, and they're a little bit tense because they don't want to make that mistake that costs us a goal or things like that. So it's trying to reverse that is the key.
And you've talked about players, if you like, stepping up, being a bit braver in that way. Do you sense that, obviously you want the whole team to do it, but do you sense that there are a couple of individuals, a few, who are doing that?
Yeah, the key is 2 or 3 players will get you beat. You need 6, 7, 8 really to turn up on any given. It's very rarely you're going to get all 11 turn up, and if you do, you win 3 or 4 now. But can we get 6, 7, 8 turning up rather than 3, 4, 5? That's a challenge that's been set to them, and there's lots of challenges at the minute. We're not getting away from the fact it's all right, Mason. I've got total belief in what I do. We're also not stupid that we have dropped into the bottom 2, but like I said, there's a long way to go. There's a lot of points to fight for, and it's having belief in each other. This is the players I'm talking about. The staff have belief in the players, total belief. And then if the players can believe in themselves, then hopefully the supporters will stay with us. Like I said, I think they'd like to think they know there's been work going on, but work needs to turn into points, obviously.
And Stevenage, not on a great run themselves. Have they been knocked a little bit by losing 8-0 to Cheltenham in the checker trade?
can't answer that question, to be honest. I don't know. Like you said, they had a good start and they've dropped off a little bit, but it's not really about anyone else at the minute. I said we've got enough things going on that we need to focus on ourselves. We've got 3 home games coming up now with the Arsenal game, so it's opportunity. Players will get opportunities as well. I very much doubt it's going to be the same 11 players by the next 3 games, whether it's through form, injury, or just changing the team. So there's always opportunities for people to stake a claim.
Tyrone Barnett came off at Forest Green at the weekend, was a sub on Tuesday night. Is he fit enough to be back in contention to start?
Yeah, he should be. We felt that he wasn't quite 100% fit, and where we are at the minute, we can't really carry people at 80-90%. So, but he came on, said he felt fine after the game for 25 minutes, half an hour. So hopefully another 2 days. Like I said, every time I see you boys, I've not actually seen the players yet, because they're in with Gav and he reports to us at about 10 o'clock. So, but I would imagine he'll be fine.
Anyone else you worried about at this stage?
Injury wise, no.